This coming November, Zorpazorp is moving to New Zealand, and making the mighty move over the ditch is no small feat, and it requires a couple of research trips to suss it all out. And while we're over here in the middle of the South Island, I could not resist bringing you guys along with me to the most amazing Middle-earth location in probably all of New Zealand and the world. And it's an incredible location that used to be completely inaccessible. Something like 20 scenes from Lord of the Rings were filmed here, and for over a decade it has been closed, but it is now open to the public to come and explore. So I'm going to take you on that journey with me today, and it's all the more important because just a few months ago, some tiny nobody channel, the mighty Alex from Battle Camper, threw down the challenge to me here at Zorpazorp that Scotland was a better Middle-earth than New Zealand.
It's look goddamn ness, New Zealand. I want you to look me in the eyes.
That basically does make him a threat to me.
Get f***ing wrecked, New Zealand.
Who must be destroyed at all costs.
And I just could not resist the chance to smash his challenge into smithereens with this incredible location. So come with me today as we check out the incredible, the mighty center of Middle-earth in the South Island.
Over the last 5 years, I have hunted down almost every single filming location from The Lord of the Rings, but there is one mighty spot that has eluded me and features some of the most iconic scenes from across the trilogy. But today, at long last, I finally have the chance to visit it in person. I am, of course, talking about the incredible Deer Park Heights in the center of Queenstown, right down in the middle of the South Island of New Zealand. This incredible hill sits between two arms of Lake Wakatipu, directly opposite the city of Queenstown, and was used extensively by Peter Jackson as it achieves an incredibly striking feeling of mountain-encircled wilderness just 5 minutes from civilization.
So this place is open as a deer park and an animal park that you can come and just drive up in, and you grab some food and you visit all the animals and feed them. Middle-earth. Let's go and find some filming locations. So as you work your way up the drive here at Deer Park Heights, there's all these little Lord of the Rings location signs, and you can follow a map as well. And this is the first one we've discovered. This is Lord of the Rings location 3. Now they don't tell you what they are, but I'm fairly certain it could be part of the Warg attack. But I think what this is a rocky exterior that Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli could run out of to exit the paths of the dead. And this was southern Gondor, under flame. We had a couple of Corsair ships down there in the bay, and then beautiful Gondorian cities all through here that were aflame because, of course, Queenstown itself had to be VFX'd out. A gorgeous little plate and a lovely location to start us off. Let's go and see what else we can find as we work our way up the top of Deer Park Heights. We don't actually have a whole heap of time to explore this today. I've obviously got the kids and the family with me because this is more of our research for housing vlog that I'm combining with some Lord of the Rings location hunting. But when we come back here, I think we'll definitely do a bunch of extra filming. We've got some gorgeous vlogs that I'm already planning, as well as some really cool kind of hobby content here on location. But man, oh man, is this going to be one glorious place for a truly epic battle report.
I'm going to film every blast. Where's a boat?
Okay, the kids are distracted again with some more of the goats. There's another location just up here, location 7 I think it's called. I don't know what is going on with the numerical order of these spots. Here we go. Lord of the Rings 7, 200 meters. Oh, shove that. We're definitely jogging through some Rohan now. I'm feeling like this might be a Warg attack spot. Oh, here we go, look. Lord of the Rings 7, yes, we're on the spot, so it is this. It is this big hill face. Maybe the cliff Aragorn falls off, but I think the cliff face the Warg leaps down and bites off poor Harmer's face before Legolas kills him and says, "Oh, a scout!"
A scout! I'm being followed. I don't have any food, bro. So this is actually day 2 here at Deer Park Heights for us. We didn't make it all the way up to the top last time. And here, I've jumped back to Lord of the Rings location 7 because I've actually seen a little bit more information about which location is which. It's all listed on the Deer Park Heights website. And apparently this big cliff face up here isn't actually where Harmer got his face bitten off. This is the Paths of the Dead location. And the other location, location 3, we saw the other day, was where Harmer gets bitten. So somewhere up here, we should have a really nice vista that Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli look down on to see
I just stepped in a lot of water.
Note to self, look where walking before vlogging. So there is our vista of southern Gondor. Aragorn, Legolas and Gimli would have been standing just up there. I can't quite get there with the fence and looking down onto southern Gondor in flames. You know, I gotta say, I think they might have this backwards. Editor Lockie is going to come in now and give us his kind of spiel. We're going to compare the footage here from the location with the behind the scenes footage and the film footage. We're going to solve this mystery because I'm pretty sure that vista is too elevated and the other location matches it better, but we'll find out soon enough. Let's head on up the hill and see what there's some amazing ones coming. Let's go and find them.
This is a classic example of film trickery. My gut feeling was right. While location 7 is the physical location of the Paths of the Dead exit, the view that Aragorn looks down upon that we see from his point of view and over his shoulder is actually much further down the slope, closer to location 3, to get that perfect angle to make Lake Wakatipu the Anduin River.
Yes, here we go. Lord of the Rings 4. 100 meters. Man, I'm gonna get fit doing this. Oh, this one, it's a bit of a hike. Lord of the Rings 4. What the hell is this? All right, so here we are at Lord of the Rings 4. Hang on, I'm really puffed. Okay, got my breath back a little bit. So, this is an incredible spot. You can see here that's the Queenstown Airport, heaps of Frankton. That there is the Carrawau, which is the Anduin River. In many stretches, the Argonath are actually just a bit further downstream. But this is part of the Wargatak location. We've got some flat spaces here with some hills, sort of from there, kind of all the way around a full almost 270 degrees where they wouldn't have had to VFX anything out.
The scene filmed here at location 4 begins the Wargatak sequence, and you'll see as we move up the mountain another fine example of the magic of cinema employed by Peter Jackson, as what feels like a cohesive scene with really tangible spatial relations is actually filmed in about 8 completely separate spots dotted through Deer Park Heights.
So we have reached the top of the eastern summit here on Deer Park Heights, and the view is just glorious. The Remarkables are straight over there behind me. We've got the Southern Alps heading down this way out towards that valley, and yeah, it's just absolutely stunning, and it is chock-a-block full of Middle-earth locations. Just down there, we've got a gorgeous little lake here. That's part of the Rohan refugee camp. Apparently, that's where Gimli falls off his horse. We'll check that out in a sec. And right up here, up the top, we've got this stunning alpine tarn on the very peak of Deer Park, looking towards the Remarkables. And this location was shot for a bunch of stuff. There was more refugees leaving Rohan going off to Helm's Deep, as well as supposedly the Gandalf riding towards Minas Tirith. This is where that big jib shot happens. So you can hike from the eastern summit across to the west, and that down there was what I thought was the kind of large alpine tarn, but I have a feeling it might actually be this guy, which is substantially larger. So up here we had some Rohan camp stuff. All along the edge here was our refugees. Shout out to Larissa, who's currently wrangling a 3-year-old and a just over 1-year-old whilst I climb all over the mountains to find the best Lord of the Rings locations. We're gonna try and get up to these elevated spots so we can see both lakes at once from a nice vantage. Oh. All of this over here was refugee camp with the Rohan refugees milling around.
You've been walking for a long time, very tired. Hurry up. Keep the pace up, guys.
The smaller alpine tarn down the bottom there. Remarkables up the top. Lake Wakatipu over there. Absolutely beautiful. I think this might be the most beautiful place in the world. This is absolutely insane. It just doesn't come through on the GoPro. I don't know if you guys are gonna get this, but it's ridiculous. We're literally in the middle of Middle Earth. It's just breathtaking.
So I think New Zealand's doing pretty well so far, but go over and check out Alex's video on Battle Camper.
Scotland's got you f***ing covered. These are brand new jeans. How is this not Fangorn Forest? Mind the picnic table. Fangorn doesn't have a picnic table.
Link down in the description and the top comment, and comment below or in his comment section, New Zealand or Scotland. And if New Zealand wins, I promise you, I will put Alex from Battle Camper on a plane, fly him down here to the center of Middle Earth for the most epic collab ever.
When the nukes fall, they'll obliterate my flat in London.
I'm confident we can do it.
I'll escape the immediate firestorm.
Let's get that vote for New Zealand.
And try to find some other way to validate myself.
Go and check out his video, linked down below.
So the middle of the day Queenstown sun is really beating down now, and as you can see, I've stripped down to my thermals, so sorry for being a little risque, but we have come on down now. The kind of peak, the eastern summit is behind me, and we're now on the approach to the western summit. You can drive all this, of course, we're here with the car, but you can hike too. And now we are coming onto Lord of the Rings location 2. So somewhere along this kind of region here is that beautiful second part of the refugee with that gorgeous clear mountain behind. Oh, there it is. So this little slope here is where Gimli falls off his horse, and then Eowyn and Aragorn have that beautiful little Eowyn stew moment. So we have beautiful second refugee camp here, and you can see that there's this great backdrop, the Tarn, and then beautiful mountains, and everything is perfectly safe. But if we just run up to this edge, you can see that just beyond the edge here is main parts of Queenstown and Frankton and the airport right there, literally just millimeters off frame from what seems to be this incredibly ideal and isolated location. And that's basically what shooting up here on Deer Park Heights gave to Peter Jackson and the crew, was these incredible locations that look so remote and so beautiful, and they're so accessible just moments away from the center of town here in Queenstown. There's 1 or 2 really big locations left. Let's jump up to the western summit because we've got a big one for the finale. It's so cool. Ugh. Installed where it belongs. Just below the western summit there is a pair of stunning locations. You move your way down from the trail and reveal this gorgeous little valley which is full of Warg attack action, some fantastic stuff, including Aragorn's Rock right up in the distance. But first, we're gonna go and check out a spot down here where we've got the initial moments of the Warg attack.
Bit of an incline here. The Wargs did pretty light work of it.
I definitely recognize this rock face. It's straight out of the films. There was, horsemen and riding up the back here and some Wargs leaping in and around. So we'll have a look at that when we get home and compare it to the original footage. But just up here, I think we've got another spot for Legolas. Here's our sign, or what's left of it, Lord of the Rings 5. Somewhere along here, Legolas was definitely doing a big bow sniping moment. Got to be some capacity for horses to be riding. This is feeling a bit more likely up here.
Raise the bow. Andy. Fire.
It's probably one of these low rocky moments here where Legolas is mounted, firing off those shots with the Wargs CG'd across the top of these rocky outcrops, and then the, oh, hang on, there's another sign up here. I found something. This says Lord of the Rings 5 as well. I'm guessing that they've stopped encouraging people to hike up this far and just marked it off a bit down lower, but this feels like the original spot. And then this region up here on the top is where Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli, Theoden, the Royal Guard, they ride on up, and Leggy has his big hero moment and gallops down and jumps up onto the horse with Gimli riding. That is epic. Let's go to the big finale, the big conclusion of this Rohani Warg attack sequence just down the valley beneath the western summit of Deer Park Heights.
Before we get down there, in a Zorpazorp first to celebrate the massive Middle-earth release last weekend, we're doing an absolutely mega giveaway with 4 of the new battle forces up for grabs, and this time there are 3 ways to win. First, subscribe, like the video, and comment down below whether New Zealand or Scotland makes a better Middle-earth. Secondly, make any purchase through any of my affiliate links down in the description. And third, join the Zorpazorp Patreon, or do all 3 to triple your chances.
Heading down to location 6, the big conclusion of the Warg attack. And as you can see, as we come down into this valley, these gorgeous rolling hills, this is Warg attack written all over it. All of these were actually shot as pretty much empty plates with the actors acting, hacking and slashing at air. And then when a digital came and brought in all of the digital Wargs we know from the 2 towers. So this whole sequence was just one massive combat plate with lots of gorgeous little shots. A lot of this was done with 2nd and 3rd unit, and we've got some really nice moments here stepping down through the location as we build up to the big finale. That rocky outcrop is the Shaku moment.
Action!
So there, just looking back up the valley, you can see all of these gorgeous Warg attack shots, and then here, the big finale, Aragorn's cliff, the moment where he's dragged up across the rocky escarpment and falls down into the river below. What a beautiful spot to finish up our trek of Deer Park Heights. We've got the Remarkables on one side, a huge vista of the Southern Alps, Queenstown itself over there, and then Deer Park, of course, as well. And you'll see why this was the perfect sort of location for that huge climax of the Warg attack fight. Aragorn gets dragged up to this really scary rocky escarpment and... hello! Just a couple of meters and there'd be a safety mat, no river at all, and just the perfect spot to film that stunt. I imagine that something else was composited, perhaps the River Carrawau, which became the Anduin over in the distance, airports down there. It's just crazy how literally a few moments out of frame, you've got this massive bustling little city of Queenstown, but up here on Deer Park Heights, you can find some gorgeous angles that feel like incredible, isolated, and super picturesque parts of Middle-earth. All I have to do right now is crouch a little bit, all of the city is gone, and all we can see is gorgeous snowy mountains all around. It's just an absolute stunning way to finish our trek on, I think, what makes a good challenge for probably the best Middle-earth location in New Zealand. There's stacks here from all through the films, and just stunning vistas wherever you go. So now it's time for us to continue the rest of the holiday and keep on our journey through Middle-earth. We're hunting down places to live and doing some research before our big move in November. But that is the end for you guys on this journey, and I cannot wait to come up here and film some content that we've got planned next year once we move here. Some amazing stuff is going to happen with these incredible backdrops behind us. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time right here on Zorpazorp. And if you guys do think that New Zealand is the most supreme Middle-earth location and it obliterates Scotland the imposter, then go and head on over to Alex's channel over on Battle Camper and check out his video where he gave me a bit of a challenge. He threw down the gauntlet to see if Scotland could be a better New Zealand, and I don't think so. I think New Zealand is Middle-earth, and it leaves Scotland for dead. But go and check out Alex's channel. The link is down in the description and the pinned comment. He's an awesome mate of mine. Go and sub, and if you love Middle-earth and you love Middle-earth scenery, you're going to love his channel too. So I'll see you next time, guys. Cheers.